Yeah.
There it is. That's your jam.
Man.
Unbelievable.
This shit slaps.
It's so good. It is kind of cute.
All right, welcome back to Birds and Swords. We've got Mikaela back. If you guys listened to last week's episode, you heard Mikaela Jade from Activision, Raven Software, works on Call of Duty. We've got her back for the art episode. We let her choose that opening song, so why?
Because Spectrobes Origins, well, Spectrobes in general is a good series of games. Spectrobes Origins is highly underrated, and more people need to play it. Anyways, and that song's really good.
Yeah. What do you think, Alyssa?
I think that you are wrong.
Okay, about the song, though?
As I told you, I literally dug my receipt out of the dumpster to return that game.
But we're being clear. You returned the DS games.
Yes. Yes.
So what system is Origins on?
It's on the Wii. And it's literally, I've said this 8 times in this room, so I'm sorry, you guys, but it's Pokemon Legends Arceus.
It is not.
It is! You didn't play it on the Wii!
I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all.
I feel like I'm arguing with...
All right, so challenge to everyone. Everyone's going to play Spectrobes Origins for the Wii. Dust off your Wii. Go to your mom and pop shop. Grab you a Wii. Spectrobes has got to be like $6.
Yeah, it's like $3.
So pick up that game. Anyway, so we're here to do the art episode. Thanks for coming back, Mikaela.
Yeah, no problem.
Obviously, we're going to take your art input. This is your guys' jam. Alyssa and Mikaela are both super artsy, love the art stuff. They're both very good artists, creative stuff. So this is your wheelhouse. So let's talk about that. Let's start off with, I guess, just overall the impact that, what do we call it? Art design? Art direction? What do we call it?
It depends on the context, but I would say for video games, art direction's a good
Art
place
direction?
to start.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what kind of, I guess, impact does that have for you guys on your gaming experience? How games look, how they feel?
A big one. So I guess my first video games, I liked things that were colorful. I definitely nowadays play games more for the aesthetic. Yeah, before I just liked things that grabbed my attention.
So what do you mean by aesthetic?
So I don't want to bring it up so soon, but like the ideal like god tier design game for me would probably be Journey.
Okay.
The PlayStation exclusive one.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's I don't know. It's the environment. It puts you into this world that's fun. It looks good. It play fun.
Yeah, right.
I like.
It is hard to talk about art when it comes to video games, though, because video games itself is an art form.
Yeah.
So every piece of the game is in some way art, in my opinion.
Yes.
Even down to the coding. I mean, every part of the game is art. But for me, it really adds to the experience because it drives home what the game's intentions are, maybe, is what I would want to say. I find a lot with indie games, for example, is the art style really reflects the mood of the game. They don't have these like really high budget, high tech systems to create hyper realistic graphics, which isn't really my wheelhouse anyway. So they create these graphics that really reflect where they're taking the game, the emotions of the game, the plot. Games like, if you've ever played Hua, the little flower game, is like a little Ghibli. I mean, just that itself, the art of Hua playing a game that looks like a Ghibli movie, a Studio Ghibli, like Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, and Kiki's Delivery Service, that itself just makes you feel young and
good.
Yes, good. It just like it really the art of the game just drives home the mood, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I definitely care more about. God, I feel so bad saying this. I feel I definitely look more for art than gameplay. Like,
really?
Spectrobes. Gameplay
Fine
can be
art.
complete dog shit, and I will have fun with it if it looks good.
Really?
I guess
Yeah.
for me, like, hyper realistic graphics just don't do it for me because
No.
I feel like we're there. We did
Yeah.
it. It's great. The hair,
Awesome.
maybe hair and water could use some work. I don't know. But so recently I saw a meme and it was a side by side of Van Gogh, one of Van Gogh's paintings of a restaurant. I don't know Van Gogh that well. And then next to it was another artist that repainted it and it was hyper realistic. And the caption was like proof that Van Gogh was overrated and is overrated. And to me, I was like, absolutely not, because in his paintings, you can really feel the movement of the painting,
Right.
the emotion of the painting, what his intentions were, how he was in the moment.
Yes.
Hyper realistic, just take a photo.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's art, sure, it's talented, but you're copying. It's not you. There's no
Right.
personality behind it.
It's talent versus authenticity. Wow,
Yeah.
I almost...
So I think certain games, the graphics being really great is artistic. I think of like Last of Us, beautiful, and they
Mhm.
just keep re-releasing it
Yeah.
and making it more
It's
and
like,
more
just make a
beautiful.
new good game.
Yeah. But other games, like you brought up Journey. Journey was a hyper-realistic game as far as graphics. I don't think it would have that same pull at all.
No.
It really is that calming, soft mood that they're trying to put forth.
Yes, you're in there for the vibe.
And I think, like how you started saying, it has a huge impact on how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
So I think that's, one of the most important things to me. And I love gameplay and stuff. And I'm with you on the realistic graphics. If it's like shooters and stuff, I'm more on board for that, I guess.
That makes sense.
But if you're going for creativity and, anything that has like some emotion in it and stuff like
Yeah.
that, man, the art impact can be such a huge difference maker.
Definitely, yeah, art. If you want someone to feel something, it should look a way that reflects that and gears them towards what you want them to feel.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. If you think about it in the context of video games, I think that sentence made perfect sense.
So that's like the whole package, right? So if we're talking about, what are those most impactful things? Is it in the environment? Is it character design? Does it vary based on the game?
I think it's all of it. I think for me personally, shape language is really important. I'm going to bring up Destiny like a bunch today because I just think that
You love it so much.
I love it so much. And they have this strong theme throughout just their whole game with whether it's UI or it's actual like in-world stuff, where anything that's supposed to be good and represent light is spherical. And then anything that's dark or is bad is like a pyramid.
Really? I never noticed that, but that's clever.
Yeah, it's so good. And they use shape language throughout everything, their whole game, through their UI systems, like I said, and their like just in-game models. Like the ship of evil is a giant pyramid, and the ship of good is a giant orb.
What's the thing that follows you around?
That's a ghost. I don't know
what shape is he? Okay.
I think he is like an orb. Is like the thing, because like if you look at him without it's called a shell. It is just a ball. It's like a little.
So
ball.
is that ever stated in Destiny, or that's just something once you notice it, and obviously now online, if you looked it up, that would be something that you would find. But
yeah, it's just in like if you just examine the game, you'll pick it up, which is smart. That's good design.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think characters and environment go really hand in hand. I think the best example would be just looking at two different Zelda games. If you took Wind Waker, which is a really happy-go-lucky, fun, relaxing game, bright colors, soft graphics, and you took Link from Twilight Princess or Zant, and you put him in that game, it's not going to fit, right? Even if you match the palettes, the color palettes a little bit more, I mean, really, like, they go super hand in hand, and it's going to feel really out of place if you don't mesh those in some way.
So why do you think, so you're a huge Zelda fan, why do you think the game's art directions are so varied? Because now that I think about it, almost every game is different, unless they're like those sister games, so to speak, where it's like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, right?
Yeah.
But as you go through like the console generations, it seems like they're all very different.
I think that they really sit down and try to create a whole new experience with every game, starting from the ground up. And I can't speak for Nintendo, please don't sue me. But I feel like every game, everything is different, down to like the fairies and how the items look. So I think that they really just they have this skeleton of, we have our hero, we have our princess, and we have like the hook shot. I don't know, like
Yeah.
I think that they have this skeleton, but then they sit down and they mesh out what they want from this game. Do they want it to be goofy and fun like Wind Waker? Well, then they're gonna create this really bright color palette. Or do they want something that's really like rough and dark, like Majora's Mask or Twilight Princess, even Ocarina of Time, give or take?
And I would say those art directions from those games, like you said, definitely match the tone
Yeah.
of those games.
Yeah,
Is Toon Link your favorite?
he is.
Yeah.
I love him. I love when his eyes go dizzy. I love that.
That's so good. For those games, do you know if they have different art directors for all of them? Because that also is a huge part in all
Yeah,
this.
I don't know that, but I feel like they almost
They've gotta. I feel like the games they've gotta reflect who the creative director is too. Like,
Yeah.
you've got to have someone with a brain that says, yeah, no, I want to go dark this time.
Yeah, because I mean, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker were like right after each other,
Right.
So like you went from
there's got to be two different teams
yeah,
working
you went
on them.
from like this is death
Yeah.
to cute.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were released. Were they released the same year? I forgot. They were like
Which
really
ones?
close.
Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. They are both on GameCube,
Yeah.
and they were both
Twilight
re-released
Princess
on
is on GameCube?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's the first time I played
I
it.
thought it was just
And
on
then
Wii.
when they re-released it on the Wii, they flipped everything.
That was weird.
I don't know why they did.
I
Oh,
don't
because of
either.
the motion controls. Because Link is left-handed,
Oh,
and most people are right-handed, so
Mhm.
they had to flip the entire
that is
map
so cool.
and everything.
Wow.
And just...
That's UI, baby. I guess.
Wow, I didn't know
Not
that
really.
either. Wow, totally learning stuff tonight. So what are some of your favorite character designs, like as far as games? Like, is it Zelda because it's so varied, or do you like
Man,
Final
favorite?
Fantasy type stuff?
I
or...
love Final Fantasy, dude. I love their
I
character
put it on
design.
put it on a
Like,
T
give me
for
that goth bitch Lulu. That's her name, right? With the belts on her
Yeah.
skirt, and she's got the big titties. Her character design is flawless. And then they have like Riku, and she's got the Final Fantasy X is clearly one of my favorites.
Yep.
She's got the spinny things in her eyes because she's part of the El Bed, and that's like their eyes have the swirls. And all of their games too, their characters really match the aesthetic. So like Final Fantasy X, you have Riku, like she's part of like this like Machina group, and then all the other characters are very like traditional holy garb type deal, like very like Dungeons and Dragons look. But then if you switch over to Final Fantasy 12, it's like very like steampunk.
you. Yeah.
And it just and Fran, her character design with the bunny ears, and whoever created that outfit, like, come on.
That's your waifu right there.
Yeah,
We've talked
love
about
her.
Fran.
Yeah. She's great.
What about you?
Oh gosh.
Like
Honestly,
game series?
You know, I know I think about character design a lot because I love concept art. I collect concept art books, but honestly, the first thing that came to mind was Overwatch because all of their characters look so vastly different.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's like 25 to 30 or however many there are.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good
And
call.
they're all like all of their looks represent like who they are, and I think that's what makes a good character is if
Did they
hate to
make
say it.
Reinhardt's head too small?
did they? I don't know.
It's pretty small
It
for
is.
how big he is.
He's so strong.
It's like it's almost like Gears of War. Like he's all fucking shoulders. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's again good. Okay, so that's what makes good character design, I think, is shapes. If you properly build a character out of shapes, that makes shit fun and that makes shit look good.
I think Overwatch did great at that.
Yes.
So what do you mean by shapes?
So when you draw like a good, God, I say this in loose like quotes, good, because it totally depends on your perception of like what's good and what's not.
Sure.
For me, a good design is something really like, if it's a cartoonish thing, it should lean into being a cartoon. So very big, like, if you want this person to be big and stocky, you want them to be mostly like circles or squares, big and big.
Yeah.
And then if you want something to be like lean, make them out of noodles or whatever. So shapes, using shapes to create like a presence, I guess.
You know what game uses shapes and art very well?
Octodad.
Oh.
Is that what you're going to say?
No, but man, that
She said
game-
noodles, and I was like, Octodad.
Unfinished Swan.
I have never.
I
even
haven't
heard
played
of
it either. I know what
God.
it is.
It truly, like, for those
Okay.
that haven't played Unfinished Swan, it's you just throw paint splatters into a completely white environment. You can't see outlines, nothing. It's just your screen is white, and you throw paint splatters, and these change colors throughout the game based off the environment. But you just reveal the environment with these paint splatters.
Oh,
So you're
okay.
revealing shapes, and that's how you traverse through this and solve puzzles.
Okay.
It's actually incredible. And
So
it's
you build the level kind of
yeah,
yourself.
yeah. It's all there.
A
Like, you'll
reveal.
run into walls if you don't
Oh, okay.
utilize this paint, or
That's
you'll
cool.
fall off a ledge. Like, you have to see where you're going. And I think the game is nothing but shapes. It's all
That's
shapes.
awesome.
And every chapter is like some different form of shapes. So
Nice.
like when you go through the water, it's lots of like circles, soft shapes. And then when you go through like the spider's lair, it's all triangles. And like
Yes.
very, yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Shape language.
Unfinished
is important.
Swan. That was PS3, maybe?
Yeah,
It's
it's
original.
so cheap online right now. I think I bought it for like $3 a few months ago and replayed it. It's short. It's like a 4 or 5 hour game.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. I'm gonna have to look into it.
Nice.
Sorry,
It-
little
and
shape tangent. Love it.
No,
shapes
and that's
are good.
probably an indie too, right?
See. They know what
So
they're
why
doing.
you work in the industry, why do you think it seems like there's more freedom of artistic expression or being original in the indie games compared to the AAA stuff? Why is that? Because who they're targeting?
Gosh. Depends.
Because if I'm appealing to the masses and I'm making whatever
Right.
and I work for Activision, I'm going for realistic, I guess,
yeah,
because more people will cater to that.
it's hard. I think it depends on just the company and what product they've started out with. Because I know the reason we stick with realistic, I think, is just because of corporate, and that's just like the brand. For Call of Duty specifically.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean,
Exactly.
you know.
Well, they're
It's
going
working.
for authenticity to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not giant lizards and gorillas on the battlefield typically,
Not
But-
typically, no.
but they're going for some kind of authentic
Yeah,
experience.
no, that's hard because I mean, you've got Crash Bandicoot in the same house that you
Yeah, that's
have
true.
Call of Duty, and Crash Bandicoot is like the epitome of color, and like, yeah. So I think it just depends on the IP, TBH. But you are right. I think there is just more like for AAA games, I think it's like a group of people deciding to do things. And when I say group, I mean like 100 people deciding, hey, we're going to do this. So they have to find common ground. And if it's indie, like, I hate to say it again, but Journey or like anything by, I think they're called Giant Squid now, is made usually by like 1 or 2 people. So whatever they envision, they can just do.
Yeah.
They don't have
Yeah.
to ask for permission.
Yeah, they're publishing their own stuff. So.
Exactly. They can do whatever the heck they want. So I think that's probably why indie is more crazy good.
So are you guys the type of people that if you really, really love a game or a franchise, you go back and you look and find the concept art and you kind of want to see where it came from and how it grew?
Yes, absolutely.
Horizon Zero Dawn took
Love.
over my month. I loved researching that
I
shit.
love concept art.
Yep.
Yes, totally agree. And a lot of times I find myself looking through like concept character design, and I'm like, why did they not choose this, or why did they go with
Why
this?
is this
always
left
fun.
out?
Yeah, but I love that. I love seeing all the different like versions of a character or an environment, or even just seeing like concept art of environments now is crazy
Yeah.
because like these people are as talented as fuck.
Mhm.
And you're like,
wild.
wow, you did this for concept art? This would take me years.
but that's their job.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing.
And it's
Yeah.
amazing how much of it gets scrapped.
Yeah.
We
it's
didn't even
crazy.
use this design, or we didn't
Yeah.
even use this version or this character or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is cool because sometimes it'll come back in ways that you don't expect it, which I
Yeah.
appreciate.
What, like DLC stuff like that, maybe, or in a
yeah,
sequel,
future-
or
like a whole different game, Maybe
Yeah.
it'll be the map or whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Depends. But concept art is so cool.
I love it. I
Yeah.
obsess. Sometimes I just could like just look through concept art books all day. I
Yeah.
love it. And I try to wait until I finish a game to do it for some reason.
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause I
sometimes
want
it
the
does have
full-
like spoilers. and
That's
stuff,
true.
but-
Yeah. That's true. Although with Last of Us Part 2, I did not wait. I was like, let's see what they came up with.
It's so good.
But
Yeah. Let's see a beat up Ellie bleeding and
Yeah.
everything. Let me see what that looks like.
Concept.
Okay, so what about, obviously you deal with UI, the user interface stuff. So
I've touched it.
I was thinking about this and I should have researched it more. What games like don't have a HUD or have some kind of immersive
diegetic
HUD?
games.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's diegetic. Yep. This was gonna be like if we did a top 3 type of material, but a game that does it very well that I have not really played.
Spectrobes.
No, definitely
Well, she's played
not.
the fuck out of that. So.
Don't worry. Is Dead Space.
Oh, yeah.
Dead Space, where
Uh.
your meter for your life is in your suit.
Yeah.
And you see it at all times. It's
Yeah.
always at the camera, but it's in the world. So that's like the optimal no HUD is diegetic when it's like actually in the environment. A lot of games nowadays have settings where you can like kind of like turn that on or
Mhm.
alter it. So like Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah.
I think you can turn off your HUD and then like they'll still have like butterflies flying around flowers and stuff to show you. Yeah, it's really good. But I don't know. I love a good HUD.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
So what so why is that so important to you?
Having
Good
a
HUD.
good HUD.
Yeah.
I
Just
like-
for gameplay purposes or
I like knowing what's available to me, and like if it's designed well, I just like to look at it.
what about I was going to bring this up because I really love RPGs.
Yeah.
So stuff like Dragon Age, The Witcher, where you spend a pretty good amount of time in your menus,
Yep.
whether it's upgrading stuff or equipping things. So how important is that, I guess? I don't even know what the question is there.
That's okay. I'm just gonna appreciate like Fallout 4, where they have you go into your Pip-Boy,
Yes.
which is an in-game
Yeah,
item to
yeah.
use your
Good-
menus and screen.
Good call.
They don't break immersion there. They did it right, in my opinion. I mean, unless you pause, but like you pause the game to pause the game.
That
Yeah.
is a good one, though.
Yeah, that's
Working in
God
things
tier
in a
to me.
natural way. In Dead Space, now that you say that, I don't even know if do you have ammo in Dead Space or
I feel
your
like
thing
you
overheats or
do.
something and it's got a
think-
color
Yeah,
on
it
it.
pops up.
Yeah.
I think like on you somewhere. It's a UI element, and it shows like numbers and letters. I think, but it still looks like it's a part of the game, and it still looks like it's a part of the world.
So what are some games that have some opportunities with either art direction or UI or anything like that? Elden Ring?
Wow.
Elden Ring makes me so angry. I was watching my partner play it for like they were really into it for like 2 months, and they're not the type of person to play like RPGs or anything like that. But every time I look at it, I'm a pixel pusher. So this is why I think I'm in UI. I think this is why it's my calling. If something looks slightly off or off kilter, it drives me nuts. Please do not look at the Warzone home screen. That's not my fault. So Elder Scrolls Elden Ring has a lot of misaligned text throughout their menus, and I think it's on purpose for localization reasons, meaning like, if you are looking at the game in Chinese or whatever, and those characters need to fit properly, I think that's why. But from what I see in the English American version, it's like the text is way too low in the boxes, and I can't understand what half of the icons are. And then their menus, I'm really good with RPGs. And like that style of RPG, I don't understand a damn fucking thing I'm looking at. I hate that shit so much. All right, thanks.
So it makes you want to not play the game. Have you
Yeah.
played? You're
No.
like, no, I don't want to play it. I
No,
don't want to
I
watch
don't
it.
wanna
It's
play
that
it.
bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I heard it's amazing. I've seen gameplay, tons of it. I, again, watch my partner play. But, like, I know that if I looked at the menus, I would get upset. Which sounds so weird and sounds so dramatic. But, like...
Do you feel like it's lazy? Because for the localization, they only had to code it one way.
No. Yeah, and I think that's why it bothers me, is I can't tell if it's lazy or on purpose. I assume it was laziness. Because, like, they could have just, like, gone into the widget and like moved that text box up, and I'm sure it would affect all of their other widgets, but no.
You're like,
They
I
kept
could have
it
done it.
down.
I could have done it in a day.
I could have done this in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah, I don't know.
All right, well, screw that.
Yeah.
Screw that. What do you got? You got some bad ones.
I have one really that sticks out to me. And have you guys ever heard or played Resonance of Fate?
I've heard of it.
Okay, so I got this
Never
game
played.
at full price at $63.35 or whatever it was after tax, and I so mad because I was really pumped for this game. It was like a steampunk-ish anime, but like more realistic graphics. It was like anime style, but more like, think of Final Fantasy during the PlayStation 2 era when they had like the good graphic scenes, that kind of style.
Yeah.
And the gameplay was fine. It was okay. It wasn't incredible. But the art was really bland. They used a lot of browns and grays. And I was like, okay, I can look past this. It's like a steampunk game, I guess. Well, the UI, which is like text boxes too, right? It's like anything on the interface, basically. Yeah. It was so small and shaky that I couldn't even get past like the 3rd chapter. I was like, I can't understand what they're telling me in the side missions.
What do you mean shaky?
It was like
it moved?
Yeah, so it was like kind of. I didn't at the time have like a huge TV, but it was still like a flat screen. I don't know measurements, but it's so like this text was small and it looked kind of blurry and it just like vibrated a tiny bit, just the tiniest bit.
Just a little bit of epilepsy.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Just the littlest bit. Just enough that I couldn't read anything and I had no idea what the NPCs were saying to me.
Yeah, that's bad. That'll ruin your whole experience.
It did. And I couldn't return it because I opened the fucking game, so I just had to trade it in. But I was so pissed.
Yeah.
It was like, it was just make the text a little bigger. And why is it shaking?
So you didn't finish it?
No, not even close.
Oh.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about subtitles?
I love them.
Love them?
Yep. Big fan.
Me too. Everybody's on board.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love subtitles.
Yes, I do too.
I love them.
Not when I watch TV though, unless there's something loud going on. Maybe sometimes.
I like them when I watch TV.
Yeah, because I feel like I honestly can't understand anything.
This is off topic. We were talking about, this was a big thing with Squid Game that just got posted because I'm subs over dubs. Did you watch it? How did you watch Squid Game?
Subs. Yeah, subs. My mom watched it dubbed. She watched it like before it was even popular. And I was trying to talk to her about it. And she was like, no, I watched it all, but it was horrible. The acting was horrible. And I was like, did you watch it?
That's how I am. Like, I'll read it and I want to hear the authentic performance.
Yes. Yeah.
But I have talked to some people who listen to dubs and they'll go back and listen to it with subs and they're like, I can't even wrap my head around it. And I feel the same way if I could go try to watch it the other way.
Yeah.
So I get that you just become accustomed to whatever. But I'll take the authentic actors' emotions and noises and just read it.
Well,
over
the protagonist
anything.
of Squid Game for both dub and sub is the same.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where'd you go, dude?
It's the same. I know. But I can't do subtitles like of a foreign film or show if I'm watching it in English because the subtitles match the original language.
Yeah.
And the dub is meant to match the lips more. So they don't match and then it bothers me. So
Yeah.
Typically I don't watch dub unless I'm like trying to like clean or do something while I'm watching, but like I can't.
Plus, some stuff gets lost in interpretation.
Yeah.
And I know Squid Game, because it was so popular, a lot of that came up online and stuff.
Messed up. I always read subtitles, and if I can, I'm the weird one. I try to read them with the sound off. Like when I watch anime and stuff, I turn that volume all the way down.
Well, that's kind of weird.
So we're all fans of subtitles in games. Most of the time, it seems like they're on.
Yeah.
I think people just commonly want that, I guess, at least in games.
Yeah, and
I think, well, a lot of it's because a lot of those types of games, you're picking dialogue choices that you're also reading. So maybe it just
might as well
kind of freeforms its way in there.
Automatically accessible.
Yeah.
Hard.
All right. Let's take a break. We're going to come back and talk about our favorite artsy games. I still don't know how to say art direction, art aesthetic, our favorite looking, feeling games that move us.
How they look.
Looking good.
Good look.
All right, Mikaela, you want to send us to break?
We'll talk to you soon.
That's amazing. She's totally right. We'll talk to you soon.
You are listening to Micah and Alyssa on Birds and Swords Please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and smash that like button.
All right, we all know the struggle. You ask your friend to watch a movie, they won't watch it. For whatever reason, it's ridiculous, it's an amazing movie, they're going to love it, but they just won't watch it. My name's Daniel King. I host a podcast called It's Just Two Movies. Every week we try to pick one good movie and then another movie that's got something in common with it that's so bad it's good. Sometimes we hit the mark, sometimes the bad movie is just bad. But we'll sort through them all for you and we'll have some drinks and laughs along the way. We also pepper in a little improv comedy just because we have fun doing it. Also, no shortage of dick and fart jokes here, so if that's not your crowd, maybe it wasn't meant to be. Come check us out anywhere podcasts are found, Spotify, Apple Music, Rhapsody, iTunes, you know the places. Or check us out on social networks at It's Just Two Movies. All right, cheers.
So how long did it take you to figure out that the way the flames were blowing in the wind was the way to go?
Oh, I figured it out super fast, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've played so many Zelda games, but I don't know. It was my spidey sense.
Yeah. So this is Lost Woods from Breath of the Wild. We love it. All right, so welcome back. What are you guys playing right now?
If you say Spectrobes, I swear to God.
It's true. It's the only game I'm playing right now. I don't have
You're
time.
seriously playing that right now?
Yeah, literally.
Oh
I'm
my
replaying
God.
Spectrobes Origins.
Play Spectrobes Origins for the Nintendo Wii.
Are they paying you for...
They should be. No, we actually have I want to start a fan project. We have some people in a Discord server that are making cool shit, and I just think that we should remake the game. Anyways, Spectrobes Origins.
So that's what you're seriously playing? So when did you
Yeah.
play it? You played it today?
I played it yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah. I've been playing it pretty much. I've been playing it pretty much daily for the past week.
What about you, Alyssa? What are you playing?
Persona 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are we? We're going on 3 months now. So
Yep.
how far are we?
I'm 100 hours in.
Ooh.
Yes.
So you got to be getting close.
Yes, I am. I don't know if this is a spoiler. The casino
Okay.
palace, and I'm just in love with this game. Everything
Yeah.
about it. I'm obsessed. I've said this in past episodes. It really drew me in, and now I'm stuck. When I started this game, I had a lot of questions that are like, this doesn't make any sense. This is way too over the top because it's a JRPG. But actually, they're really pulling it together and kind of explaining. I don't want to spoil stuff for people who haven't played it, but they're really just explaining things in the beginning that seemed really far-fetched, why this kid was treated the way he was for stepping in during a sexual harassment.
Yeah, they're good with the flashback where he's
Yeah.
getting interrogated. And you
I was like,
learn
why
everything.
would he be in trouble for stepping in for a woman being assaulted? But they really, you know what? Give it a chance if you're like me and you're like, this doesn't make sense, because they pull it all together and there's some really incredible themes about capitalism and sexism and just...
Yeah, it takes on
So good.
all the toughest topics.
Yeah, and in such a fun, colorful way.
Yeah, I know.
The
Yeah.
design is
Yeah, the first time you talked about it, you were 2 or 3 hours in. Remember that? You're like,
All
I don't
dialogue.
know.
I still
There's a
think
lot of
there's too much dialogue. But it's it's a
Mm.
JRPG, it's
Yeah.
an anime game, so I get it. But I do, when I get in those calendar days, because you go day by day, when you get sucked into 4 days of dialogue, I do it's too much for me. I do put it down and I'm like, I can't keep going.
Yeah.
When they randomly go to Hawaii for their little school trip
Yeah.
and it's a week of just dialogue in Hawaii, I'm like, why?
Yeah.
So, but it's like
More than makes up
it's
for
like
it.
a 9.8 out of 10 game. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. I'm glad you like it. I'm back on my bullshit, so I can't stop playing Returnal. Have either of you guys played Returnal?
No, I tried
No.
to pick it up and I won't.
Yeah, I'm the guy that likes the hard games, so man, and it's brutal. But I've been playing it like nonstop not nonstop. The only thing I've been playing, I guess, for probably the last 4 or 5 days.
That's pretty good.
Well, I hadn't played it. They did an update in March, I think, just of this year. The game came out a little over a year ago. I think it came out in April of last year, where they added some DLC. There's like a challenge
Yeah, I heard about
tower.
that. Yeah.
You can do co-op, but I can't get Drew to play with me right now. So I want to try the co-op, but I've been trying the challenge towers and stuff, and it's engrossing, man. Like, I just can't stop, because that game is all about perfect runs. Like, I'll restart my cycle. I'll be in the first room. If I get hit once, I'm like, nope, got to restart, because you need to like work up your health and all these things. So we did create a Twitch. I did put a gameplay video on there. It was only like my second run, so it looks like I don't know what I'm doing, because I'm like relearning everything again.
Yeah.
That game's so awesome. It's so intense. It's one of those games where you're just on the sticks constantly. Like, your thumbs are just constantly moving. It's
Like
all about
Hyrule
gameplay.
Warriors.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, no. But yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, but I get it's that same kind of thing. You keep going back for more kind of thing. So I've been slaying some Returnal. Good times. And we'll post some more on the Twitch. I got some plans for this weekend. Alyssa and I had talked about playing It Takes Two.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get around to that, and we'll live stream some of that or record some of the video of that, and that'll probably be pretty silly. Everybody loves that game. We haven't played it yet, so I think that's a perfect opportunity for us, and we'll get that up on Twitch for you guys. So if you haven't followed us, it's very brand new, so go check us out on Twitch. It's just Birds and Swords. No ampersand. It's just Birds, A-N-D, Swords. So go check us out. All right, so to finish up the art episode, let's talk about some of our favorite games that hit us in an artsy way. So guest goes first. So Mikaela, what is one of your top 3 games?
One of them, and I hate to say it, is Cyberpunk. 2077?
Yeah, something like that. I don't
Yeah,
know. I think it was
something like that.
2079 by the time it came out.
And that's honestly my biggest, like, this has nothing to do with art, but my biggest issue with it is the fact that they kept saying, like, yeah, we're gonna release it. Oh, it's gonna be so great. Like, just don't build up hype. I hate that with the video games industry right now. Don't build up hype. Just
That's
say,
a new
yeah,
thing
we're working
too.
on it.
That's a new thing
It is.
too.
It is. And it's just...
Or they announce it too early. Like,
Yes.
hey, here's the thing. It's coming out in 2023. It's like,
Yeah.
no, people buy it.
Right.
Yeah.
Just tell us when it's ready. We don't care. We'll still, the same amount of people will buy it.
Yeah.
It's just really unfortunate.
So what'd you love
But
about it art-wise?
Loved, of course, the UI, the color design. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but the story is like actually really good. It's actually intriguing. It feels like I'm playing a movie. I feel like every single piece of the environment is a place I would want to be. And for me, that's really big and important in video games. So
Yeah, its cityscapes were really good, and I also liked when it like kicked you out to the desert, because it's almost like Vegas or maybe
Yeah.
LA or something. It's like a city in the desert.
Yeah.
And it does throw you out of the city to where you can like see downtown and see the skyline and stuff, and I thought that was really cool.
yeah, it's just a good place to walk around. Like, the whole game is. And then the UI is just well thought out, well done.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't think I have any issues other than like glitches and stuff. Oh, no, that's a lie. I remember I like kept getting food from vending machines and I didn't know how to eat the food. And I still don't. So I have that issue of like, then why did I buy this shit if I can't use it? UI should be a little bit more clear on like their inventory and like clean that up. But other than that, I thought it was really well made.
How'd they do with Keanu?
I didn't even get that far.
Really? What?
Yeah.
So you got this on your top list and you didn't meet Keanu?
No.
He
I
makes an
started playing a
appearance
bunch of other
pretty
things.
early.
Does he?
Yeah, probably like a third of the way.
Okay.
10,
Yeah.
10 to 15 hours in, probably.
I just recently got it. Like 4 months ago, which for me is essentially the same as like a week ago. So I'm definitely like in the beginning, I don't know, not too deep in the beginning part of the game. But I do know enough about it to know that I enjoy how it looks.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, if it has that big impact this early
Yeah.
on, I can see why it made your list, I guess. You
Yeah.
banged any hookers?
Not yet. I don't know if I'm going to go like full slut or not. Sorry, we don't
Always
slut shame.
Go
but
full slut.
yeah.
Yeah, you can. And there's multiple ones, multiple gender, whatever.
Perfect.
Whatever you want to do.
I'm going to do it all. Just kidding.
Are you playing as a female or a male?
Male.
How big did you make his junk?
Honestly, I don't remember. I'm sure I maxed it out.
So, yeah, Cyberpunk, you can change the size of your genitalia.
Yes. Yeah.
They went all in on that.
Yep. Good
All
for
right,
them.
cool. Cyberpunk 2077.
Yep.
All right, what about you, Alyssa?
It was hard to not pick a game with cell shading, like Borderlands, Telltale, that kind of stuff. What really beats the Telltale and Borderlands style for me was actually Ori.
Ooh,
Oh.
I love
But the
Ori.
second game specifically. The first game was beautiful, but their budget skyrocketed in the second game, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, I think it's called. And it's just gorgeous because one thing they understood about nature is that there's hundreds of different colors of green. And within nature, so you have your greens and then you top it with your purples, and the way they did everything was so natural and beautiful and naturey, but still glowing with other colors like
it was like
blues
magical.
and purples. Yes, it was mystical, magical, and everything just was so pretty. And I just don't know any other way to describe it. Everything about the game, it was just gorgeous, and especially for like a side scroller platformer,
Mhm.
it just was beautiful. And especially Ori himself being so white and bright white against this dark background of nature with these dark blues and purples, and obsessed. I loved it. I don't even know.
I love it.
The
I love it
water in the second game, like, it just sparkles. It's just gorgeous. I don't know. Obsessed.
Nice. I love Ori too. Both games.
Yeah.
Those are like emotional journeys too.
Oh, I cried during
that's
both.
that's a
Bawled.
whole package.
Especially the second one.
artistic.
Well, both of them, because they got the freaking birds, right? They got the
Yeah.
owls, and and I won't spoil it for people, but I love birds, and I knew.
I don't think you're spoiling it when you say that you love birds. We know. We know.
Thank you. Micah, what's on your list?
You know what? I love birds more now because of you, I think.
Thank you.
Love them.
I have that effect on people.
All right, so I wanted to go with something old, and then I didn't. I do love pixel art and old games, and that's how I started playing stuff like Mega Man. Even the Mario stuff is borderline genius for the tech that they had at the time. Or we're looking at Super Metroid now. A lot of that 8-bit and 16-bit pixel art is awesome. But one of mine that I picked is one of my favorite games of all time is Limbo. Have you guys played Limbo?
Yes! Fuck!
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. So I love Limbo, and that game is 99% black and white. But that's a real, man, it's so good at being mysterious and ominous. It's hard to describe the game, I guess. And I don't really want to spoil the adventure, but it's artistic direction and how it has, you're just a little guy running around, but there's bugs and stuff that are a lot bigger than you, and you're trying to figure out what you are. Are you a human boy? Are you something magical? And like I said, that game is 99% black and white, and they nail it. Like, you don't need colors. They work shadows in really well. So yeah, Limbo. And that game's probably 4 or 5 hours long.
Yeah.
So if you haven't
it's
played
brutal
it,
too.
Yeah.
First of all, they utilize foreground and background
yes.
impressively.
Yeah.
And they utilize that with literally black and white and some grays, very
Mhm.
monochrome. And it's so brutal. Like, when you get cut up with a saw, it's happening. Like, the blood is there, but it's just the shadow. And it's great. It feels so simple, but the puzzles are so intricate. It's just fantastic.
There's
I totally
only
agree.
one button, I think. I think you can just jump, right? Maybe there's a
and
grab.
push. You can push or grab.
Grab.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some horrible deaths and stuff.
Yeah.
You get chopped up.
And
in
I
really
even got
violent ways.
stuck in that game a couple times, not to move away from art, but I'm a huge puzzle game person, and I had to look up a couple spots towards the end because I was like, wow,
Yeah.
how in the fuck? It was good.
And I do
Fantastic
like Inside as well. I forget the studio that makes those. The same studio made a game called Inside that's really good too. But and it's in the same vein, black and white, mysterious thing. But I really like Limbo more, and it might be, and I obviously won't spoil it, might be my favorite video game ending ever too. Is Limbo. Really makes you think. So I love Limbo. All right, what's your next one?
I'm gonna immediately, before I have to struggle to pick my third favorite, I'm gonna pick my first number one. Number one, and that is Journey. We kind of touched on it before. It's since I played it for my the first time I ever played it was on a PlayStation 4, so I didn't have the raw experience of PlayStation 3. But I remember I just clicked with it immediately. It was the prettiest game I've ever seen with my eyes. It was easy to understand, easy to play. And the music. I own the vinyl soundtracks.
Nice.
Because I love the music so much. I'm just like actually obsessed with every single artistic aspect of this game. I remember in college, we actually had an Art of Journey, like art book in our library. And I rented it and I checked it out. Fun fact, all of the art that I'm aware of at least, was all done like by one person, Matthew Nava. Sorry, Matthew, if I said your name wrong.
But nice job.
Yeah,
incredible work.
Stellar. So I checked out this book and I like kept checking it out. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna buy it. And I went on eBay and it's being resold for like $1,000 plus. It's like super rare, I guess. And really expensive. I'm really bummed that I cannot buy it. But like The Road of Trials is my favorite. That's the third, I think, part of the game. Everything is like, you're in sand and you're like riding down these hills and all of a sudden the sand just turns to gold and you're just riding down.
I think it goes to a side.
Gold.
Yeah.
And then you just go, woo, and then you go through the pillars and everything's gold and you see the mountain. And I love that part about the game too, is that you just know, all you know going in. No words, no nothing. You just know that your destination is that ray of light.
Yeah, it's coming out of a mountain in the distance.
Yep.
Another game with no HUD.
Yep.
No text, no dialogue.
No nothing.
And it has online. There's an
It
online
does.
component.
Yep.
And it also doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
And you like can't you communicate with like little
blips.
noises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
you
not.
can-
There's no headset. There's no communication.
It's so good.
It's so soothing.
Yes.
It's really. I mean, I remember my first time playing it was I worked for fucking Pick and Save, right? And I
like Pick
hated
and Save.
it. Well, you don't want to work there, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And it was like the worst job of my life. It was super miserable. And one of my coworkers, I hung out with him one day and I was just so stressed. And he was like, just try this game. And I mean, like talk about shaping the mood of a game. Really, like how do you make a desert feel so soothing and like just serene and like my first time I played it, I ran into one of those players with like the white scarf or whatever.
Yeah.
And they like show you around and like it was just like it
That's
felt
my
enlightening.
favorite. Yes.
Yeah.
Your scarf
love
gets
that.
longer too,
Yeah, it
right?
does through the whole game, and it
Yeah.
feels so accomplishing.
It
Like-
does. Yeah. Especially like you said, if you can get that white cloak, that feels so good because that means you mastered the game.
Do you have the white cloak?
I don't.
Me neither.
Yeah, no,
Micah?
and I've played
Let's
this
go
game.
get it. I don't have it either.
I don't know. I'm
And I've
missing some
probably- I've probably
symbols.
played it through 4 or 5 times too.
Yeah,
so how do you
I've done
get
2 or
it?
3.
You have to find all of the symbols, I think, around the
okay.
map, and I'm missing one, and I do not
Ooh,
know which
you're
one
close.
it is. Yeah, I keep getting them
I
all.
can't find all the ties in Octodad either, so I
It's the
understand.
same.
I'm scared.
Well, Journey, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome choice. But you're right, the sand, just how there could just be a
It's
gradual
stellar.
hill, and you'll just kind of
Yeah, and
Yep.
you just slide
Slide
around
down
and you
it.
almost dance across the sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
boop,
Yeah, it's-
boop yourself around.
I think they modeled. I think his goal was to make them look like dancers, if I remember correctly.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Very graceful.
Yeah. Just crazy.
Good choice.
stupid
Yeah,
good.
excellent choice.
Good choice.
Totally agree.
All right, what's your next one?
Moving up on the list, my number 2 would be Okami. Have either of you played Okami?
I have.
I have not.
Oh,
Mhm. It's
excellent
pretty.
game. I want to buy the remaster. I just keep putting it off. They remade it for new gen. And Okami is an incredible fucking game in the sense that the graphics are in watercolor. So you play as the god or goddess of the sun, Amaterasu. I hope I pronounced that right. But you basically progress through this game by painting. Your whole everything you do, how you fight enemies, you slash them with your paintbrush, and you haven't played it in so long, but basically the lands that you inherit are just overturned by these like shadowy creatures, and it's all ugly and brown and gross. And as you progress, you can paint them to look more beautiful and green and vibrant. And the game is just like gorgeous, just very beautiful watercolors. The characters are super non-traditional. They look like actually non-traditional in the American sense. The traditional Japanese paintings, if you look at them, I feel like you would find a lot of correlation. The art direction of the game is fantastic, and it's a game that really, like, you paint the sun and then it's brighter. You paint the water and it flows through. Like, it utilizes actual art into the game.
And there's a good boy?
Who's a good boy? Well, I
It's
think
a
it's
wolf?
a good girl. Yeah, it's the god or goddess of the sun, and it's a doggo.
Is it
Woof.
like a companion, or is it just a
It's
story
you.
character?
That's
Oh, really?
Okami.
It's you. You
Okay.
play the dog. Yeah, you
Wow.
play the dog, and then you have like a little cricket thing. Well, it's not a cricket. You find out it's like a little mini person, but it's cuter when you think it's a cricket that like shows you how to paint and shit.
Yeah.
Um,
Not a lot of games where you play as a good boy.
yeah, it's excellent game.
You can get it on Switch
Yep.
still?
You
Right?
can get it on pretty much any system. It originally came out on the 2, and then I feel like it was probably re-release. No, then it came out on like the Wii. And
There was an
now-
Okami Den or something, DN.
Yeah, and then
Okami
like the
Den.
DS. That one sucks. Don't play that. But
Won't.
then they remastered it for Xbox One and PlayStation 4 for sure. Not sure about anything else. So for sure, PlayStation 2, Wii, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4.
And Switch. I have it on Switch.
And it's on the Switch
Yep.
too.
I need to play it.
Yes.
Another good choice. All right. My next one is Ghost of Tsushima.
Ooh.
Oh.
Man, if we're talking about games with no HUD or creative, so have you guys played Ghost of Tsushima?
I've seen gameplay.
No,
I
but I've
haven't
seen
played it.
gameplay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that one like doesn't have, first of all, beautiful game. It has a lot of nature aspects to it, I guess, and you can pet foxes. And they lead you to their dens, and then you can pet them. But it also uses, instead of a compass or a mini map, it uses the wind.
Oh yeah.
To see where
I
you
did
go?
know that.
And you just swipe up on the touchpad, and then the wind kicks up, and it like blows the leaves and the flowers or whatever in the direction that you're
So
supposed to
cool.
go. So that is super cool and innovative. The rest of the game is beautiful too. It has lots of flowery fields and lots of color, lots of vibrant stuff going on. And everybody who's played that will definitely know exactly what I'm talking about. So Ghost of Tsushima was my second one.
Good pick. Yeah.
And definitely that game's awesome too. I platinumed it.
I
don't-
have it.
I don't
It's just
platinum.
I'll play it in 10 years when it's not cool anymore.
Right? That's what you do.
Yeah.
And I don't platinum a lot of games unless it's attainable. Remember the Kingdom Hearts 3? Man, I had a war going with your partner. I think I won.
I
Barely.
think-
like
I
the
think
night
you
before,
did.
and
Yeah,
they
I
got
think
it the
you
next
did.
morning.
Yeah.
Platinum
Damn.
Kingdom Hearts 3 because we're huge fans. But yeah, so I platinum Ghost of Tsushima because I just couldn't stop. Beautiful. Okay, what's your numero uno?
Well,
That was Journey, right?
Journey
this is your
was.
numero
Oh, yeah, that's right.
dos.
Rightfully so.
Gosh. So I'm picking between two. I'm gonna say Breath of the Wild just because it's influential.
Okay.
You don't sound thrilled about that.
Yeah, you don't.
Because I'm gonna honorably mention Life is Strange, True Colors, because I think it's underrated.
Wait,
and I
True
think
Colors is the one with the bisexual, right? Because that's so
well,
good.
all
if that's
of them,
the one.
But yeah.
Wait.
They're all technically.
They're all a little.
Oh, I thought she was lesbian in the first one.
That's what I like to hear.
I didn't know there was a bisexual option. I just went full lesbian in the first one.
fuck it, yeah. no,
True Colors,
no
though. That's the one
biracial.
where she like goes to Colorado. and-
Yeah.
Holy fuck, that's such a good game.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes, someone else that has played it.
Yes.
So good.
I am like I was like
And amazing soundtracks. Too.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I still need
Oh.
to get this one on vinyl. I have the second technically on vinyl. But yeah, I think it's underrated because again,
Yes.
like no one has played it.
Nobody. No.
I don't
it's
know
so
why.
freaking good.
Yeah, and I sat with Joanna. Joanna was so bored. She was on her phone the whole fucking time. But I had a good time. I played it twice. It's just really pretty. It's really well done. Of course, Life is Strange is really good with their lighting. I don't remember what engine they use, but it's a good engine for like realism, and they also have like this filter on it that makes it look like almost like it was from like a picture, I guess.
Mhm.
And then Alyssa's gonna know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna be very vague, but that ending scene when you are interrogating the baddie is like really intense, and there's like a lot of small details in it that make it really good, like visually. Like the main characters, if you do play it, her eyes like will change color based off of I think it's actually what emotion she's feeling, and I really dig that, and it's really subtle, and I didn't realize it until the second time I played it. But it was just like a little touch that I was like, that's really cool.
It's fantastic.
And that's a choice-driven game
Yep.
as well, kind of like the Telltale Walking Deads and
Yeah.
stuff that we've talked about before.
Yeah, it's just like a tell.
I think they're more
good.
popular than you think.
I thought it was better than
It's
the
like-
first one.
it's like
I thought it was
the-
better than the first
Yeah.
one.
It's like
too.
the cult following type
Yeah.
of thing. Like,
Yeah, but like no one's
no
playing
one's
this
played
one.
it that I've talked to.
Yeah.
I haven't played True Colors.
It's so
Yeah,
good. I
exactly.
mean, you can
You
borrow
should.
mine. It's seriously, it's so it's like if you're like a bisexual empath, this game is for
This
you.
is it.
This is it. Like, and they pay so much attention to detail. Everything in the background of these games, like, there's just so much that you can look at and
Yeah.
see, and it's just gorgeous. And the choices and tons outside of the art, tons of like turns in the plots that you don't see coming, and like,
Yeah,
it's just
no,
fantastic.
it's well written.
The
They
characters
also,
are all really likable.
They are. I
which
actually
is great.
I wasn't expecting to like Ryan, but no, he popped up on screen, and I was
Yep.
like, "Fuck, I love this."
yeah,
man.
I chose the man.
yeah, I definitely chose Steph, but I wanted to.
I was
choose
close, but I was like,
Ryan.
okay, fuck.
Yeah,
they
he
were both
was
really
good.
great choices. But
Yeah.
that's what makes it like a true bisexual game too. Is
Yeah.
both choices were great,
Are
and I
very
was like,
good.
oh my god, I love both of them. And
Yes.
why are they siblings? We could have really worked this out.
Yeah,
Like it's
very good.
that's a good pick.
yeah.
Why
Thank
are
you. Oh
Man,
yeah.
some zingers tonight. Zingers.
But yeah, it's a great game. It's beautiful. I recommend it. They do a weird turn-based part of the game that I really like. It's
Yes!
really weird,
It's
but
like
they
a-
do it well.
They like LARP.
Yeah,
That's what you're
they
talking
LARP.
about, right?
I love
it's
the
so
LARP scene.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a whole chapter.
Well,
of the
it was good enough to be like, well, fuck Breath of the Wild, what I was going to say. You didn't even talk about it at all. You're like, I guess.
That's how it's at.
But honorable mention.
Yeah.
No, that's a good choice. That's a good choice.
That's
And I need
excellent.
to, I've played the first one.
Yeah.
Which I think I still have. That's yours. by the
Oh,
way.
really?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, you gave me the one that has like the prequel on it too, because there was like a prequel episode,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And
complete edition or
oh,
something.
that makes sense.
Because they released a DLC after, and you told I hadn't played any of it, and you
Yeah.
told me to. You're like, you know
Play
what?
the
Play the
prequel.
prequel first, just to see how that goes. I haven't
Yeah.
talked to anybody that's
I
done
want to
that.
see how it works.
Yeah, and it was super sad and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I definitely
Nice.
do recommend True Colors. It's
Nailed
so
it.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Okay. What's your
My number
Is
one.
this your number one?
This is it.
Oh God.
So my number one is Little Nightmares, the series,
Ooh,
both
nice.
games.
Nice.
I am in love. I will be getting a tattoo. I like seriously to take a game and make it so creepy and so cute. That is talent.
yeah,
that's
And-
fair.
And it's dark, but what I love is that they still utilize brighter colors such as like yellows and oranges, but they add that gray to it, so it still has that undertone, that creepy undertone. And they just go so far beyond like deep shadows and dark colors. I mean, the characters that you are hiding from or fighting or running from, they're creepy. I mean, in the second game, you have that teacher that stretches her neck and she can like
Yeah.
find you. I mean,
Yeah.
and then in the first game, you have the guy that's blind, but he has the long ass arms. Their character designs are incredible. Like someone is having horrible nightmares and they're just making games out
Yeah,
of
they're
it.
not little at all.
Yeah, yeah. But it's also still so cute because you play as this character. What's her name? 6, 7? She's a number.
Six.
6.
Six.
And she's adorable. She's got her little raincoat and you're just
Mhm.
like hopping along, running along, figuring your shit out. And you got the little guys with the newspaper hats that
Yeah.
you can like eat or whatever. And like it's like cute and fucked up. And that's like my whole aesthetic. So I like the creators of this game have my full attention. I will give them all of my money. I could go on for years about this game.
Did you like the first one better than the second one? Because the second one, don't you like have a tag along with you?
Yes. So you have
Present some new gameplay
the thing
opportunities.
is, the first game, I played a few times. I loved it, but there's no buts. I loved it. I loved the game. It was fantastic. I probably wouldn't change anything about it. The twist in the second game is really what sold me on it.
Okay.
Have you guys played the second game yet?
No, but my
haven't
little
either.
brother spoiled
I've just played the
it.
first
Okay. Oh,
me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The
What's
thing
his
about-
name?
Mason.
Damn it, Mason.
God damn.
All right, go ahead.
That's a huge spoiler too.
Yeah.
The thing about the second game is it's scarier. And the first like 2 chapters, you're kind of like, okay, this feels like the first game. We're just kind of trucking along. We're going through a creepy school. We're going through creepy this and that. But then all of a sudden, everything just flows right into one another and you can't stop playing. And it gets really fucking freaky, like Slender Man freaky when you were in 6th grade.
Mm.
And it just keeps getting worse and scarier. And then the plot twist happens and your mind is blown and you're fucked up and it's over. And it just all happens right there. Like you can't stop.
Yeah.
So I think
Nice.
if I had to pick which one I liked more, the first game.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. It just feels like a classic.
Do you know who makes it?
I can
And
definitely
if
look
they've
it up.
done anything else? Yeah,
That's
you
a
should.
great question. Let me look
That
it up
is a good
and we
question.
can.
I always figured
cut
it
to
was
it.
the people who made Limbo, but that is definitely
It's a lot like
probably not
Limbo.
right.
And Shady Part of Me or whatever feels a lot like that too if you've played that game.
Mm-mm.
Well, if you're looking for something, because I want Little Nightmares to release more content like DLC like they did for the
I
first
think
game.
They're going to.
I hope so. But there's a game called I think it's like Shady Part of Me, and it plays a lot like Little Nightmares. It's a puzzle based game, platformer, and you play as a little girl who's like in an orphanage trying to get out, escape, and you also play as her shadow, and you use both,
Ah.
and you switch between the two at will to complete puzzles to get out. It's an excellent game
It's-
about mental illness,
Oh.
which I have lots of expertise in. So
Can you play it co-op, or is it built for single
that's a
player?
great
Switch
question.
back and forth?
I don't ever check because I like playing single player, but I
Mhm.
feel like it'd be a great co-op game.
I was going to make a joke about Luigi's Mansion.
Do it. We got time. She's googling something.
Yeah, go ahead. Make
Sounds like Luigi's Mansion.
it is.
That was your joke.
Hard.
I do like Luigi's Mansion.
I liked watching someone play
I like
Luigi's Mansion.
sucking ghosts.
Yeah.
Sucking up ghosts.
ASMR.
Final Fantasy 3.
They made something called the
Classic.
Stretchers,
Okay.
The Stretchers.
and
What's the name of the dev company?
Tarsier.
I've never heard of them.
Tarsier.
Yeah.
Whatever. I would literally give them my soul. I don't give a shit. If they came up to my door and was like, "Give me everything you have," I would. If it got me Little Nightmares 3.
You know, that's fair.
It's got to be coming. Those are pretty popular. Because
Yeah.
they're still getting, because those are like 1999 games. They're still getting physical releases. And that means people are playing them.
Yeah, they're freaking excellent. Yeah, Little Nightmare. Oh man, just excellent games. I really hope that they have DLC for the second game because the DLC for the first game was great. It was like it tied into the original plot, and the puzzles were even harder than the main story.
That's good.
So I hope that they do
So
that again.
which tattoo would you get? 6 in the raincoat?
I think I would do 6 and maybe holding hands with the dude with the paper bag.
On your forehead?
Yeah. I did a really cool, yep, right on my forehead. Or maybe on the other ass cheek. We'll see.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Would you ever get a face tattoo or a neck tattoo? Maybe a neck.
I would maybe do neck, probably not face.
Yeah,
I'd maybe
face.
tattoo like my makeup on my face so I don't have to keep doing the wings.
Oh my
But
god.
yeah,
That's a good idea.
What if it goes like out of style or something and you're stupid and
That'll
old
be so
or
embarrassing.
something? That's what
Well,
old ladies do.
that is true. Maybe I'll just be like the goth old lady in the nursing home. You don't know.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's a good, you know.
Plan of attack.
Yes.
Yeah, I was
All
gonna say
right.
good place to be, but that
The
didn't
nursing
feel
home,
right.
excellent
Yeah.
place to be.
That's
Okay.
kinda why I stopped.
Anyway, Micah, you're number 1.
My number 1 is, what do you think it is?
Persona 5 for
It-
sure.
It is Persona 5.
Damn it!
What were you going to guess?
Oh, I was gonna guess Persona 5.
Really? Really? Okay. Well, you guys
Incredible.
know that I love Persona 5. Yeah, we've talked about it before. That game's just dripping with style. I just love it. Every piece of it, whether it's in a turn-based battle, whether it's in the dialogue, the way the like the face of the person that's talking to you comes up and it's kind of got different emotions or whatever. Even the text bubbles look cool. All the menus look cool.
And it's not gaudy.
No.
It's
No.
awesome.
It's just
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah, it's all done with like reds, blacks, and whites for the
Mhm.
most part. And those
Yup.
colors definitely work together.
Yeah.
So everything's super stylish. Everything's, I don't know if you'd call it loud.
Yeah.
you call it
No,
loud?
is
That's a good
definitely a
descriptor
good
for
word.
sure.
Very
Yeah.
loud. But yeah, everything, and even the way, not even the way that stuff looks, but the way those components move. Like,
Yeah.
say you like, oh man, what's her name? What's the doctor's name?
I just played it today.
Sexy.
Yeah, you love her.
Yeah.
We forget her name. The doctor. Like, even like when you go into her office or whatever, and then you go into stuff that you could buy from her
and
or
she,
whatever.
Like, leans back with the
And her
heel up.
silhouette just like
Yes.
kind of flops across the screen and then goes into this pose.
flops.
Like, I don't know.
no,
The way
that was
she
great.
gracefully somersaults across the screen. But like her silhouette moves into like this cool position. So everything, moving in motion, just everything about that game, the way that everything's put together, just fucking works.
Even the menus, like you pause
Yeah.
the
The
game and he's like,
menus is why I love that game.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or whether you're leveling something up or the post battle stuff all flies
Yeah.
into the screen and stuff.
Yeah.
It just constantly keeps your attention, and it's super artsy, and it's not really complicated. It's
No.
all simple stuff.
I've never been confused on one of their screens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's easy to
Everything
read.
pops.
Nothing's oversaturated or anything like that. But
Right.
that game's beautiful in a different way because it's definitely not realistic. It's anime, cartoony, stuff. But
Yeah.
everything's just so stylish and fluid, and the soundtrack matches it.
Yes.
Just everything
Yeah.
working together. So Persona 5, which is also like in my top 3 games of all time. So there's no reason why it shouldn't be there.
Agreed.
So that's
Good
my
pick.
number one.
Yes.
A good number one.
Any honorable mentions or anything we left out?
Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Breath
Yeah,
of
I
the
have Breath of the
Wild.
Wild for honorable mention. I think it just is a great mixture of a ton of great, amazing games put
Mhm.
together.
It's just influential, and you can tell it's influential because every game nowadays feels like, okay, not every game, but a lot of games nowadays feel like they're trying to be
Or they get
Or they're
compared
getting
to it.
compared.
Yup.
Yeah. Yeah.
because they were like, yeah, we're gonna try this new art style, and it fucking works.
I
And
mean,
it-
yeah. It
Oh.
felt like they took the arts, like the style, the color palette, I'll say, of Wind Waker.
Yes.
And put it with like the style of Twilight Princess.
I
And that
agree
just
completely.
sold.
It seems almost like
Yup.
it's kind of watercolory
Yeah.
too. The
Yeah.
colors
Yeah, for
aren't
sure.
super vibrant; they're a little toned down.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just good.
Yeah.
And I feel bad saying that, and the reason I don't want to say it is because everyone says it. That it is like a masterpiece.
I mean, when
it's
it is, it
well done.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 would play again.
Yeah, that is for sure. That was on mine too. I also have Shadow of Colossus.
Ooh,
That's
Yeah,
pretty
that was an
Yes.
honorable mention for
Good-
sure.
good
That was
stuff.
a great game.
that's how you make an empty game intriguing because there's
Yes.
nothing in that game except the 16 bosses and the journey to get to them.
Yep. Talk
But-
about not telling you how to do anything either.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good stuff.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Do I have anything else in here? Wolf Among Us. Any Telltale game, really.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Yeah.
the cell shading games.
Yeah, it's jumping.
Borderlands.
Yeah,
Telltale.
it's like they're jumping out of a comic book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's really unique and cool.
Same.
All right. Well, this was a lot of fun tonight. I love the artsy side of things.
Yeah, this is a blast.
great.
Yes.
This is easy to talk about.
Yes. Hey, we'll do another one. I mean, there's lots of art subjects and artsy stuff out there.
Heck yeah.
So, all right, Mikaela Jade.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
My
Again.
pleasure.
You're awesome.
Some
You're a
more.
badass. We
I-
love you.
I love you. Both of you.
We'll have you back sometime.
Yeah.
You're the expert. All right,
Thanks.
so that is all for us. Alyssa, any parting words?
Goodbye.
Thank you, and we will catch you guys next time.